Well, g'day viewers, and welcome to episode 5 of Dan in Paris, one man's attempt to become French in just 12 months. This month, I'm reviewing February, and I thought it might be interesting to share our food experiences in France. We do get asked a lot if we are enjoying the food here and whether it lives up to the hype that you would expect from France. So, food in Paris, what's it like? Well, most meals we eat, we make ourselves at home. My wife is an excellent cook and does do most of the cooking. I tend to come in off the bench as the cook from time to time and intersperse myself in runs of food that I really miss. I typically cook Asian dishes, which maybe I ate in Australia and I miss a lot. But regardless of who cooks, we eat like kings. I don't know why, but the produce here is just phenomenally good. For example, we actually live the French stereotype of buying a baguette every day. And we finish it most days, and we just never get sick of it. And this is just not possible in other countries because for some reason, bread elsewhere just makes you feel full. But surprisingly here, even people who are normally gluten-free can often eat baguettes in France. Whether it's because of the laws here prohibiting genetically modified food, or the purity of ingredients, or the artisanal baking, I don't know, and I don't care. We just eat bread with virtually every meal, and it's fantastic. Other stereotypes would be croissants, pain au chocolat. Do we buy them? Yep, we do, from time to time. Probably not as often as I thought we would, but certainly at least once a week, and the good ones are spectacular, and the average ones are still better than average, and we know where to get the good ones now. Now, to cook at home, we buy a lot of fresh fruit and vegetables, and we get these from the supermarket or local outdoor markets. But it doesn't seem to matter where we get them from. They just seem to me fresher and I think riper than most food in other places I have lived. And the same is especially true of meat. We don't eat a lot of meat, but when we do, I tend to go to a local boucherie, and the meat is exquisite. And I swear it's because there's better farming practices or maybe more patience in the process, shorter supply chains. I don't know. But for whatever reason, we make a lot of dishes here, which we have made elsewhere with ingredients from other countries, and they just taste better here. But of course, we also go out to eat, especially if we have company. And here is where living in Paris is an absolute paradise. The French celebrate meals like no other nation, and the choice of venues that we have in particular just has no end. We live in the Latin Quarter. We don't even have to leave our local area to find incredible food at any time of day. And in Paris, as we've sort of discovered, there's really 4 main places to eat. The cafes, of course, these are abundant and often open all hours with simple menus. But they're really, I find, maybe mainly for tourists because they often get caught outside of lunch and dinner times because of when they come, go, and have to be places. We are much more likely to go to a second type of venue here, which is a bistro or a restaurant. And these are really just kitchens open for a few hours at lunch. They close again, then they reopen for dinner. So if you get your timing wrong around these, unlike the cafes, the bistros are just often closed. And if you turn up at 2:30, they'll often refuse service because they're very keen to get on their break before dinner time. And I like bistros. They often do really brilliant but simple French dishes. You always see the classics, the steak frites, boeuf tartare, escargot. But they also often have a plat du jour, which is whatever the chef has found at the local market that day. And so they're always a little bit of fun. If you want to go more upmarket than a modest bistro, you can go to a brasserie, which is really often a bar with a restaurant. And in the true Parisian tradition, they offer this service continu. So they're often open all hours. And I only recently, to my shame, learnt that brasserie means brewery in French, and this is how these restaurants kind of started, as bars that grew to serve food. There is a 4th type of restaurant here called a bouillon, which is unique It's designed to be fast, inexpensive. It was conceived to serve workers lunch who are time poor. The benefit of these things is you get in and out really fast, but the negative is that many of these bouillons have become famous. Paris, as you know, is cursed with a lot of tourists, and Instagram fame comes to a lot of these bouillons. And so what you tend to have is a very fast eating experience, but a very long queue out the front. For example, last weekend, my wife and I went to try one in the 14th arrondissement, but because we both detest waiting when we're hungry, I think we lasted 10 minutes in the queue before we looked at each other and said, let's just go somewhere where we can get food right away. My son Henry tells me young people love these because they make the queuing all part of the experience. Someone will bring drinks, they can consume those in the queue, and it's all just part of the fun. But for me, standing on the pavement in Paris in winter whilst freezing is a special form of torture that I would rather avoid. But wherever we go, we tend to love it. And I think we can now say we have a bistro in most parts of Paris that we know is a go-to. We know the food is good, the service is good. And I think this has actually played a role in us feeling more like locals now. It has been 5 months since we've been in Paris, and to be fair, not everything is perfect. But when it comes to food, zero complaints. That's really all for this month, but I did promise an update last episode on my status here. So I did meet with the French authorities on the 6th of February. They took my fingerprints and they asked no further questions. Now, a couple of weeks later, this week in fact, I've received an email that tells me that my carte de séjour or residency permit is approved. I just need to make an appointment and go and collect it. This could take a couple of months, but it looks like I've got some sort of interim document, and all I need to do is understand whether that interim document allows me to travel outside of France, which would be wonderful because I haven't been able to do that for quite some time. Now, thanks for watching. Until next time, à bientôt.